Good morning, I'm Maria from the Richardson's Homeschool Life, although today we're not doing homeschooling. It's the garden vlog today, the monthly collab, which is hosted by Victoria from Home Educating the Mad Lads. So it's where we take you a tour around gardens, allotments, or little backyard pots, whatever we've got, whoever's taken part, we show you what we've got. I'll drop a link down below to everybody else who's taking part. Now, I think there's a bit of an issue with links going on. I've noticed sometimes I try to go on links and I can't find people. I think this might be because YouTube is giving everybody their own personal handles. So like the links that we use will be changing. So it might be because of that, I don't know. So if you can't get through to one of the channels via the link, just type the name in and search for the channel that way, because that might be the reason. I don't know, just guessing that might be why. So yeah, like I say, today is the garden collab. I'm going to take you a tour around the garden. Now there's not much to see in the garden at the moment. It's quite bare. We've been stripping everything back ready for winter, things that have died off. We've been pruning and whatnot. But what is going on in the garden is some major changes. We're going to be starting a new project, which I will tell you about in the next few weeks, because it's something that I will probably film and put on a different day. So maybe it'll be on a Fridays like I'm here today. And you can follow the progress of what's going on and what's happening. But I'll tell you more about it maybe next week or the week after. And within the next coming weeks, we'll talk more about what's going on. So another one of my crazy ideas. So yeah, we'll talk about that in coming weeks, like I say. But for now, we're going to have a walk around the garden and you'll see what's changed. There's been a few major changes, and I'll take you into somewhere where we don't normally go. I think we've peeked through the door once, but we've never actually been in, so we'll go in there, and that'll be it then for this year actually. Yeah, because October, it's the last one. So the garden collab, hopefully, if Victoria wishes to do it, we'll start again in March next year, because it runs March to October. But like I say, I will film some of what we're up to, so you can see, like over the winter months, what we're up to. So without further ado, we'll go out and we'll have a look what is left in the garden. So we're out on the back patio. Not a lot's changed here. I've removed some of the plants that were here. Remember the rose bush and a camellia, I think it was. They've gone onto the front where the other plants are in the corner. This is what's left of my mint. I've taken all I want. I'm just going to chop the rest of this down now because I've got plenty of it in stock. And the leaves have come off the apricot bush, but I've had a look. I can see new buds, so hopefully it should be okay again next year. Whether we'll ever have apricots though, I don't know. That's another thing. Don't know whether to cover it over with a bit of fleece over winter really, see if that helps. We've been cutting back all the hedging, all the conifers, ready for next year. We do it once every autumn, beginning of every autumn. So it's all a bit messy at the moment. Like I say, there's a few pansies left in there, so I've left them grow. I've put some crocus bulbs into this fairy garden. I'm going to put a bit of grass seed in it next year. I'm going to see if I can just do something with it. Don't really know what. There's some marigolds still going strong. And then there's this dahlia that doesn't seem to have done anything. It's never flowered. I can't even see a bud on it. That's what's left of my herb upright stacker. That's got to be cleared out, sorted. All the lights are down, ready to be packed away in a box in the shed for next summer, because these are all the solar summer lights. Christmas lights soon. And we got some more marigolds. I've got a few, and there's something growing in there. It looks a bit like a raspberry or something. I don't know, something the birds must have dropped in. I don't know what it is. I've left it to see if I can see what it is. But this dahlia, I was saying last time, looked like there was a head coming on it. You can see quite clearly there is. Whether it'll form, I don't know. The weather's mild at the moment, so if it stays mild, we'll be all right. That's my rhubarb plant. All the rhubarb's dropped off now. I'm going to cover that with a bit of fleece. Like I say, it's mild at the moment, but once it gets cold, these jobs will need doing before then. everything else is the same. Now here's a bit of staging. See what I've done with the strawberries. I couldn't get them all on staging, so I put a couple of pots down below and then put a bit of staging up for the other pots. So we've got all the strawberries in there, and we've got some crocus bulbs in those 3 planters in front. Now look at my clematis. It's all blooming again because the weather's so mild. I'm really concerned because if the frost comes, kills it, it might not come back next year. So I don't know what to do with that. We'll just wait and see. Not much you can do, I don't think. But yeah, stepping back, that's how it all looks. So it should be a lot tidier. We've got a lot more tidying up on there to do at the moment. And some of the big pots that are empty now, I'm thinking of putting herbs in for next year. But that's dying back. I've been taking some seeds. I wasn't going to, but I couldn't resist it. I see seeds and I have to collect them, so I have been doing. This is the blackberry area. This is all coming nice. I love this blackberry plant that we bought earlier in the year. Hoping that it just keeps growing and growing and takes all over this side. Then I can remove the green netting if it does. It's to stop the cats going in and digging it all up at the moment, and the dog, or I'd have no plants left. Now look up the garden. Pool has gone, see where it's been. But see the duck pen and see where my onions was? Look what's there now. We've moved the chickens across. Dean's built them a new pen, and the chickens are now over on this side next to the ducks. So that's lost me a bit of gardening space. I've got to mind our garden next year. This I thought was weeds, looks like a Michaelmas daisy. And in the tubs, Dean's covered them with wire because we put all the daffodil bulbs back in. And so he's had to cover it wire because, as you know, Cassie was jumping in and out of it and digging them all up. I'm sure she thinks she's a cat. There she goes again, look. See what she can get out of there. But yeah, that's turned into what looks like a Michaelmas daisy, so I'm glad I left it now. There's another view of the chickens. So yeah, it's funny bit of shape that was because it's a bit narrow at the bottom and a bit wider at the top, but they seem okay in there. They're quite happy, got plenty of room. It's got a bit of a roof on it, so they're keeping quite dry, and they've been happy in there. And there's a few more marigolds there. So we had a few marigolds dotted about here and there, and the ducks quite happy. Yeah. We'll have a swing around and we can see Sean. Sean's cleaning out the rabbits. They are cute, the rabbits are. But Sean's a lot better now. She's just started to take the splint off her leg and move without it. She limps a bit, but she's coming on okay. There's the parsnips. They're doing all right. Not really got anything left in there, just the parsnips and the Brussels sprouts, as you can see over there. All the other boxes are empty. Now I'm thinking about taking some of the net stuff, not net, the white covering off, because I'm thinking about putting fine mesh on there for next year to let more light and air go through it. Been chucking some chicken stuff onto the beds. Should compost it down really, because it's only really rabbit stuff that's good for throwing that straight on, but we didn't. Now look at this. Now we had a shed there, do you remember in front of that black shed there was a shed, but we've moved that as well. That's another part of what we're doing. You see the pots there, all of these got to be moved, all of the pots have got to go out the way, be sorted and go out the way. So we'll go up here, look, what was my favourite area. I still quite like this area, but there's not really any animals up here now. As you can see, the first pen is all emptied out. Now they're going to use that for storage, for storing all the Christmas lights in there and some of the Halloween lights. All the ones that don't matter too much, the expensive ones are all going under lock and key, but it just frees up more space because it's all concrete floor, it's waterproof, so it's all right. But they're all the outdoor decorations, all the outdoor Christmas trees and that anyway, so yeah, they're going to do that once it's all dried out because he's had to clean it all and disinfect it. Here we've still got the pheasants. Now these are the only animals we've got here now on this side of the garden. We just got these two. These are staying put. We're not intending to move them. So they're quite fine there. We've chopped back the raspberries, except for this end one, which was grown a lot slower than the rest. So I've left it because it's still got raspberries, new ones coming on it. So now if we go further on up, now remember here, there's where the two pheasants were, and there was a little pen on the end with the little pheasant in that we hatched earlier in the year. Well, he's had a new home. He's gone to a new home on a farm. And so we put the little shed that was in front of the big black shed in this spot. So that's now there, and it's alongside the other shed that was there before. And you can see me onions hanging up. It's got loads and loads of strings of onions hanging up in there from the garden. So that's another thing that's moved and changed around. So we put the shed up that top end and freeing up the second patio down the bottom end. Oh, a spider. Do you know, I don't know why I filmed him. I hate spiders. But for some reason, I just decided to film him. He's very lucky because I hate spiders and normally get someone to kill them. But yeah, there's not a lot to see in the garden at the moment. There's more work going on in it at the moment than there is anything growing in it. But we've left the Brussels. They've got, some of them got Brussels forming, but that one looks more clumpified. It's sort of got sprouts coming out everywhere. I don't mean Brussels sprouts, I mean sprouts of plants. But we'll see, I'll leave them and see. So yeah, everything's changing. See, Dean's moving stuff up there. That's indoor stuff that's going to be locked in the top shed. And piles of wood that was taken from out of the chicken pen. See, now we've got another door to the side. You couldn't see it before because the other shed was covering it, but we have got a door there. This shed's got two doors. So in we go. I've never taken you in here before. Lisa's sorting stuff. This was all storage, ceiling to floor or floor to ceiling, however you say it, of Christmas decorations, Halloween decorations, storage stuff. I mean, if you don't think this is bad, my loft is like this, end-to-end storage, and we've said that's going to have a sort out next. Well, actually, the next one is Sean's bedroom, and come spring, we're going to do the loft. But as you can see, it's a good size shed, and very spacious, but it's been cleared, totally cleared. So this is a good size area, and this part is all part of the new project that we're going to be working on, which I'll tell you about in the coming weeks. So we're prepping everything ready for this project. We can see where the pool has been there. Dean says I'll throw some grass seed on, but I can't see the point because as soon as the weather gets hot again, we put the pool back on it. So why worry? Not worried. Some of it's already resetting itself because grass does that, so I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, we've cut all the conifers along there as well. They've all been cut back. We've got pumpkins up ahead. Unfortunately, we've not grown those ourselves. Sad to say. We did try growing pumpkins, but they just didn't work. So these are from Tesco, as you can see. They weren't too bad a price in there, actually. They were quite cheap. I mean, in years gone by, I bought them a lot dearer than what I bought them this time. So yeah, it looks a bit bare along that bit. I'm going to keep some of the big pots. I'm thinking I might keep them on this patio and put herbs in them because I really want to start working with herbs and, you know, raising a herb garden and working with herbs for food and medicinal purposes. So yeah, now look here in the greenhouse. I planted some lettuce to see what it do. Now it's hot in here at the moment. Like I say, it's very mild at the moment. So I've not had no heating on and they're sprouting lovely. I don't think all of them are sprouted, but I've tried to keep to a minimum because what I want to do is plant them in these pots here. I've had cucumber in these, if you remember, in the summer, and we just took the plant out and I've left the soil in it. So I'm going to pop them in there if they get big enough and see if we can grow them on. But we're looking at the temperature, how warm it is today in the greenhouse anyway. I mean, it's touching 80 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's really warm in here. So for the time being, while it's like this and mild, I shan't put any heating on in here. But the thing is, I don't want to put too much heating on, because if you do, it defeats the object, because your lettuce works out cheaper to buy, although it's nicer to have it fresh, grown yourself. But yeah, I can water it. I've got my water butts all filling up lovely now. So that's quite good. There's one outside the greenhouse. It looks a bit mucky, but it's all rainwater, and it's all right just to dip me bucket in and water plants in the greenhouse. And Sean's finished the bunnies, cleaning them all out. She gives them a good full clean every Saturday, and then she does spot cleans during the week. And the litter trays get cleaned every day. The ducks, they love all the muck. The minute you clean them, they're mucky again. Not happy unless they're mucky. I was looking at that bit of trellising actually on the floor. I don't know if you noticed it. It was like a triangular shape. I was thinking, like, along the front of the duck pens and the chicken pen, looking up from the bottom of the garden, if I can get some more and tack it along, I might be able to grow my sweet peas along there. I must check though that it'll be all right for sweet peas to be along there, in case the ducks and the chickens peck at them, which inevitably they will peck at anything that pokes through, and I don't want to put anything up there that's going to be poisonous to them. So yeah, that's the garden. Now I shall see you now next Tuesday with a homeschool vlog. So thanks for watching. Bye.